JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 11th of August 2022. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a view of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFDbrokers.com website, which you can always check us out here on JFDbrokers.com, and I believe you can find some useful information. So, now then, jumping into the charts, guys, the first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225. Just wanted to show you that nothing is happening because today Japan is closed, so we remained at these levels. However, given yesterday's kind of pop in the market after the US CPIs came out, we might see Nikkei also pushing a little bit further, to the upside here again, or not further, sorry, a little bit back to the upside, because we did decline recently. And one thing to keep in mind, of course, is keep your eyes on how today's trading is going to go and how tomorrow's trading is going to go. Just to remind you that there won't be any Traders Espresso from tomorrow until the 22nd. So we will resume on the 23rd. So yeah. But the thing is that the futures here might have reversed on to the upside as well. But again, we do have this obstacle. And another thing with the equity world, keep your eyes on it. Don't get way too bullish, because maybe we saw only like a temporary bounce. In general, look, if we are judging from the U.S. perspective, from the U.S. stock market, then yes, the number came out better than the forecast. However, it's still at 8.5, so I mean, it's still high. In general, yeah, okay, great, we lowered. It's a positive that it dropped, but the inflation did not disappear anywhere yet, so that's why inflationary pressures can remain for the time being. The only thing is that, will it start going down? Yes, it absolutely could be, but again, at the moment it's still a problem. So that's why, don't get your hopes up yet. If we do start clearing some key resistance barriers, then yes, I'll slowly aim higher. But at the moment, guys, I would say be a little bit more on the cautious side. Now, coming back to Nikkei, similar story. If we do clear and stay above that 28,339 territory, then yeah, I'll go further north slowly. Shanghai Composite, guys, boom, there we go, beautiful move to the upside, broke the downside line, of course, good news from the US, and there we go. So the index, Shanghai Composite Index, moved nicely to the upside, cleared cleared this level. I talked about this barrier, the 3,253. I said that, look, if we pop above it, then yeah, I'll go higher. I'll aim for the 108 EMA initially, and then maybe for the 208 EMA. And this is probably where I need to draw my arrow till, although that level is quite an optimistic one. Still, nevertheless, it could be reached, but again, let's go slowly, let's go carefully on this, and let's keep an eye on some of the support and resistance barriers. For now, looking at Shanghai Composite, I'm still aiming for the upside, and my next target is the 3,305 territory, or even this 200-day EMA. The ASX 200, boom, guys, there we go. Basically, what I was talking about, we managed to reach that 200 EMA level. Perfect. And look how well it acted as a good area of resistance. Now, this is the point where it could start, moving a little bit sideways here, maybe oscillating around that 200-day EMA, but keep your eyes on that 7,066 territory marked by the key support zone right there, the low of the 7th of June. So if we clear that level, then yeah, I will get a little bit more excited with the upside. Where's that arrow? Bear with me one moment, guys. Okay, there we go. Curve, there we go. Yeah, so if we do clear this barrier, yes, I'll go further up. With the downside, I said before, the 6,920 territory, that's what I'm keeping an eye on in order to go a little bit to the downside. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be like a very bearish move or something. Initially, anything up until this upside line taken from the low of the 20th of June could be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying. But again, at the moment we're here, we're near that 200-day EMA. Let's see what's going to happen further. At this point right now, I would say I'm just going to observe this one, because if it starts moving just somewhere around here in between the 100 and the 200-day EMAs, I'm not touching that one. I'm just going to observe this one. I mean, my mission was accomplished here. The target was the 200-day EMA. Although maybe it's not a huge area, it took us maybe a while to get to that point, but hey, the result is a result. Now then, jumping into the German index, DAX, there we go. Boom, beautiful reversal here. And look at this. Now, this is where I have to say that the idea didn't really work out as planned. It worked out partially because what I said previously in the beginning of this week, I said that, look, if we drop below that 13,570 territory, my next target will be this 13,400 zone. We fell shy just by a few just a few points from reaching it, and it's a little bit disappointing, I would say. I mean, the mission was complete by around maybe 75% only, but hey, it's part of the game, guys. I mean, this is the market we're talking about, and yeah, we got a reversal here after the CPIs. So I would say now the problem is the upside, or I wouldn't say the problem, but the obstacle, which is in like sitting here before, let's say, going further north, and that's the 13,750 level. I talked about that level previously, and I talked about that 100-day EMA as well. So look, we need a clear break through this area in order to go a little bit more to the upside. Not going to be very positive here, because don't forget about this downside line taken from the high of the 5th of January. So this medium-term downside resistance line, tentative a little bit, because again, we only have 2 touches. Maybe this is not going to carry you too much weight. That could be the case as well, because maybe this is not the point here. Maybe this is the 200 level, the 200-day EMA is the one to watch. But again, we cannot really discuss, or let's say get comfortable with the upside until we get that clear break through this downside line, and then yeah, we could aim for that 200-day EMA. But before getting there, we need that break through the 100-day EMA and above this 13,750 level, and not a false breakout, but a nice good staying above that barrier. Now, in terms of the downside, okay, this is where I need to adjust a few of my levels. Now, this is my ideal scenario. The 13,400 zone. A nice good drop below it may lead to first of all, a break below the 21-day EMA, and then further declines. This whole area, yeah, we could keep an eye on it. Let's say again, we could keep an eye on that 13,570, but the only thing is that it got violated a few times here. So in a way, it doesn't really carry any more significance, but out of curiosity, I'm gonna leave this for now, because if it drops below this area, then yeah, I will go to the upside, to the downside, towards this 21-day EMA. Oh, and by the way, just to let you know, the cash index right now is above this barrier slightly, by not much, but it's still above it. Let's see how today's session is going to play out. NASDAQ 100, guys. So there we go. Beautiful reversal here to the upside, and look at this. I mean, I talked about this idea, said that we might rebound from this area, from the highlighted territory, and there we go. We got that rebound. Beautiful. Everything's working according to the plan here, I would say. And the only thing is to watch right now is of course, this barrier here, the 13,395. A nice, good, clear move above it would, of course, lead to a push above the 200-day EMA, and then, yeah, more buyers could join in. At the moment, the cash index is sitting above this hurdle, so yep, good news. Again, we still have plenty of time before the US markets will open. So, you know, anything could happen, anything could, you know, we could still drift back down. And again, like I said, keep your eyes on the market, because yes, we got some positivity, but will the market participants kind of, you know, put the hat of rationality on themselves and, you know, reevaluate things again and say, hey, maybe not everything is positive, you know, or should I say that positive. There are some positive elements, but still maybe not everything. So, you know, maybe they could keep the index trading somewhere around here for a while. But hey, we don't have a crystal ball at the moment. We just go from what we have, what we see here. And yeah, if we push through this barrier, and we currently are pushing through this barrier, but again, that's pre-market open. If we continue to stay above this area, then yes, I'll aim a little bit higher. But the only thing is that I want to put here, and this is just for that extra cautiousness, you know, so the area somewhere around here, basically this maybe this 13,500, and let's round it up 50, because again, this is in between these two areas, so around this area, so 13,550. That's what I'm going to be keeping a close eye on right now. Like I said, we're currently pushing above this barrier, but can we get a little hold up somewhere around here, for example, today? If we can, and then let's say the index reverses sharply to the downside and drops back below the 200-day EMA, well, I mean, I kind of warned you guys. So again, be very careful, cautious. If we clear this one, perfect, great, let's go higher. Let's go towards the next target, which is around here, this the low of the 18th of April, or we could go even further north. But again, step by step, slowly, and then we'll go from there, guys. At the moment, if we do drop back below this 200-day EMA and stay below it, we could start ranging, and maybe this could end up being a range trader's paradise. But again, if you're looking for something maybe lower, maybe more trendy, then at least maybe wait for a drop below this area, below the 12,897, 98 territory, and then we could go a little bit to the downside. DXY, so of course, declined, lower than expected inflation number, and took a hit. Yep. Okay, this is the thing. This is the point where probably my level of smugness is gonna, you know, scale up a little bit. I'm sorry for that, guys. But look, I talked about this rising wedge pattern. As ideal or not ideal, eventually it was something like that. So hey, it worked out perfectly. And yesterday I was talking about these two scenarios. Like maybe this could be could be seen as a bullish flag here or something like that. But we didn't get that pop, and basically we didn't even get the break above this little hurdle, this 106.4 zone. And look at this. I mean, it continued to provide strong resistance, and boom, instead we had a drop, moved lower, and almost actually completed my mission here, because the mission was to, if we do break this upside line or the lower side of the rising wedge, then the next target is the 105.70, and then maybe this 105.05, or maybe even all the way towards this upside line. Well, we just fell shy by a few points from reaching this upside line, and yep, we drifted, you know, we rebounded back above this lowest point of August, or should I say the previous lowest point of August, because now the new lowest point of August is somewhere around here. However, I'm not really done with the downside, because maybe something like this could be possible. So we could see maybe a push higher a little bit, 105.70 territory. Keep your eyes on that one. If it provides resistance, another decline could be possible towards this upside line, or maybe even if it fails to provide support, towards the 100-day EMA. But let's not rush into anything. Let's see how this is going to play out, guys, today. For the upside, if you want to start looking at higher levels again, well, actually, this is where I'm going to shift my arrow, and I'm going to, well, remove this one, and adjust this. So this is where I'm going to keep an eye on my 21-day EMA, because look at this, how well it is playing out now. So if you're looking for some higher levels, probably a break of this downside line, a push through the 21-day EMA, and a push above the 106.40 level could be a nice opportunity here for the bulls. Gold drifted nicely to the downside. Okay, initially we saw a huge pop here, higher, and look at this, guys. Look at this 1807 zone. So beautifully held this key area of previous support now became a key important area of resistance, and we also, it led to, as you can see here, to a break of this upside line. Basically now we can get rid of it, and now we can focus on the downside. However, the downside towards this 21-day EMA, that's why my downside scenario is only from around here, this 1772-73 area. Let's see how this is going to play out today and tomorrow, of course. But if you're maybe we might end up being somewhere around here this week, because look at this. I mean, the weekly candle is somewhere around here. So basically, we could, if it's saving itself for next week, then yeah, maybe we could see, a nice good pop going into bigger move going into next week. So this week it might end up somewhere around here, just kind of calm and steady, unless it starts clearing, let's say, on the upside scenario, it starts clearing the 1795 territory again, because look at this, it continues to provide good resistance, guys. I mean, look at this barrier, the 1795. We cleared that a few times, but still it comes back below it. With the downside, 1772-73 territory, that's what I'm keeping an eye on. A nice good drop, and a drop below the 21-day EMA may attract a few more sellers into the game. Now, I'm not going to talk about anything else. I'm not going to say anything else about this, basically. But like I said, we might not see maybe huge jumpiness this week, maybe by the end of this week. So maybe it's going to save itself for next week. So don't be surprised if you see something like that, unless it starts clearing these two areas as I've mentioned. WTI oil. Okay, so beautiful decline yesterday. Look again, the 87.90 territory did provide good support. We did rebound. We did test it first of all, but we failed to drop below it, and we rebounded and we moved back to the upside. Now, I'm classing this, not this, but I'm classing this move higher right now as a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling. Again, one thing that I want to mention as well is that overall, I'm still bearish on oil. Probably I'm gonna, although I might be wrong on this, but in general, I think that oil might go down later on. I'm not saying maybe, let's say, just right now or tomorrow or maybe next week or something like that. No, but in general, I think that oil will go down in maybe upcoming months. However, again, I might be wrong, but it's just that the way everything is shaping up, I think that people have started spending less, and basically due to high prices, of course. So now everybody's on this in this cautious mode, and well, this is where oil prices might adjust nicely. However, we might get a last spike to the upside. Let's say, because if you look at this picture, I mean, we could be forming something of a triangle pattern here, a descending triangle. So if we do clear this short-term downside line taken from the high of the 29th of June, then we could see a nice pop here, and yep, we could see a move nicely to the upside. And yep, we could maybe, like I said, keep your eyes on this downside line. If we clear it and we start moving above this 96.55 territory, I'll aim a little bit higher again for that 100 level, maybe a little bit above that, and then I'll take it from there. But overall, if we do reverse and respect this downside line, and we break below this 87.90 territory, yep, I am aiming lower. Bitcoin, just a quick update. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try to run through these quickly because again, I'm running out of time. As you can see, I spent too much time on the indices, but hey, sorry about that, guys. Bitcoin, okay, great. We're getting that we got that rebound from this upside line. I was talking about this yesterday. I said that look, not everything is very bullish because we drifted back down to this upside line, and I said that look, if we're gonna break this, then yeah, we could go lower. However, if we rebound, okay, this is one of those points where you have to just wait. You just have to be patient and wait for it. So now we're getting this nice break above this 24,300 territory. Now, if we stay above it, I'll continue aiming to the upside, slightly to the upside, because don't forget about this downside line overall. This downside line taken from the high of the 10th of November of 2021. So yeah, at the moment what we're seeing, we could be seeing just a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling. Similar story with Ethereum. However, with Ethereum, I've mentioned this before. First of all, need to get rid of this upside line. No longer needed. Because it worked out nicely here instead with the level, because the 1700 territory, I kept on talking about this, and I said that look, if we clear that, we stay above it, then yes, wonderful, we could go higher, especially if we also push above the 108 EMA. And so far I am aiming for the for this barrier for the 2000 territory, and plus minus again up plus minus a bit there here, but in general I'm aiming for that 2000 territory. So let's see how all this is gonna play out. AUDUSD, so beautiful rebound. Look at this move, guys. Boom, 0.6977 territory. We cleared that level again, formed something of a bullish flag. I talked about this because I said look, I mean, we are still above this 21-day EMA, so maybe the bulls are not done. And of course the lower than expected CBI numbers from the US that came out yesterday helped this pair. And yeah, we cleared some of the levels, and most importantly, we reached one of my targets here, the 0.7047 near the 100-day EMA, and which is was the previous highest point of August. We cleared that. We're now aiming higher, and I would say as long as we stay above this territory here, my next target is the 200-day EMA. If we fall back below the 100-day EMA, I will remain neutral. For me to start maybe looking at the downside, I would like to see a drop somewhere below this area again, below that 0.6977 zone. AUDCAD, also good push to the upside. Yesterday we saw a bit of a confrontation here. I mean, contradiction. Well, in general, AUD kind of reacted to the positive markets, and basically, I will get to. I don't think that I have it here. Okay. One thing I wanted to show you basically about the CAD basically. So we got a nice push here, but the main kind of driver here was AUD actually. So it reacted to the positive markets and kind of drove, it was stronger than the Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar strengthened yesterday a little bit. Because of the rise in oil, but yeah, here you can see AUDCAD was the stronger one, and it drove above the previous highest point of August near the 0.9030 level, and we're still remaining above it. So my next target is the 200-day EMA. USDJPY, beautiful decline, of course. Yes, weaker dollar, and well, we dropped below that 134.55 zone. I talked about this level yesterday when I was covering this pair. We were still above this area, above this upside line. But I said that look, in order to go higher, I needed to see a nice good push above the 21-day EMA, and yep, we didn't get that. So in order to go lower, I said that look, a drop below the 134.55 territory might do the trick for a few more sellers, and it did. We almost reached my target here, the 131.50. I'm still aiming for that, to be honest. I'm gonna stay with this one, and yeah, at the moment I'm just aiming for this one or this 100-day EMA. Just a quick update about US dollar against the Turkish lira. We had a bit of a decline here, however, not a significant one, and to be honest, it's just showing that, well, I think that we might be heading for that, those higher levels, and again, a retest of the current all-time high, which we managed to reach, and we're now it's just giving us a signal that there is a good point that we could go higher here, but still a confirmation breakout is needed, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. So we've reached the 21-day EMA, we rebounded from it, this area near this 21-day EMA. So now I'm keeping an eye on the current highest point of August near the somewhere around here, 1808, something like that. Yep, 18.09, roughly around there, guys. So if we clear that, then yeah, I'll go a little bit further north. GBPAUD. I talked about this one yesterday, and look, I mean, at the moment is drifting nicely to the downside. It fell below this 1.7286 territory, and it's now aiming for the lower side of the range near the 1.7175. If we're gonna clear this area, yes, I'll go lower. If we're gonna struggle with it, maybe we'll see a nice rebound and maybe a push back to the upside. Again, a lot will depend on GBP and ZD as well, because previously I've drawn this as a range, but somehow something tells me that maybe I was a little bit wrong on the range parameters here, on the range levels. Well, maybe this could be the case. So again, the fact that after we dropped below this 1.9144, I said to you previously that, look, this is what I'm going to be aiming for. After that, the 1.9040 zone, we've reached that, mission accomplished, because look at my arrow here. I mean, I didn't draw it way too much to the downside there, although maybe I would like to see a move all the way here and here as well. So, but something tells me that if we judge, because these two tend to move similarly, again, let's see what's going to happen here on GBP AUD, for example. First, if this area is going to hold, we might see maybe GBP and ZD also rebounding from this area, and maybe giving us a false breakout, but in the end of the day, maybe rebounding back to the upside. Keep that in mind. Unless we start dropping heavily below this and we stay below it, then yeah, I'll go further south. EURCAD, again, look at this beautiful move here. Initially, we saw that weakness coming into the Canadian dollar, but oil did strengthen after that. After it all calmed down a little bit, and we moved back below this downside line. So I would say that the descending triangle pattern is still not off the table. Let's see how this is going to play out. Of course, with the upside, I still need to see that push above the 1.32A19 level here. I would like to see the pair staying above that. With the downside, of course, obviously this is the one that I'm watching, the 1.3024. Euro CHF, very quickly on that one, came very close to this key support zone, which is the current lowest point of July, near the 0.97 territory. And from the beginning of this week, I kept on talking about this pair, and look, we are near this key support zone. Can we break that? Well, again, we'll have to wait and see. Don't rush into anything, because maybe we'll end up, rebounding and starting to range here or something like that. So just don't rush. If you do catch this first move to the downside here, I would say be very careful and quickly have your stop loss in place, just in case on a break even. Let's say if you go into profit, just in case this suddenly reverses back to the upside. Again, don't forget that what we can see here as well could be the jumpiness. For example, it could go lower again. It could break that area. You could go into profit, but then it could reverse. Go back up, take you out, and then reverse again to the downside. And it could do that several times. It could basically oscillate around that 0.97 territory until kind of the traders, and decide who's going to take the lead here. And then, yeah, we could, let's say, if those are the bears, then we could see a nice good drift further south. But you have to be patient in such moments. You have to accept the fact that this is, how it is. Well, if we do see that drop, I mean, don't be surprised if we don't see a straightforward drop. Sometimes we can get that, but sometimes, yeah, it's just a bit of gaming that you need to do a little bit with that. So yeah, but be very careful. That's part of trading. And finally, EURUSD. There we go. Beautiful move to the upside yesterday. Look at this 1.0340 level. I said before that, look, if we clear this area and stay above it, then yes, wonderful, we could go higher. But we failed to stay. We did clear it, but we failed to stay above it, and we drifted back down. However, I'm not saying that I'm becoming very bearish here or something. No, there is still an opportunity maybe to finish off that area today or maybe tomorrow. We still have, like I said, the full trading day today and tomorrow, so be very careful on that one. And if we clear this area again and we stay above it, I'll go higher. If we struggle, I'm not saying we could drift back to the downside here, but to be honest, if that's the case, I would still prefer to wait for a drop below the 1.0122 territory, somewhere around here, and then go to the downside, because all this area here is, I don't like this, and I just kind of I try to avoid such areas, because again, it could be might be very choppy. If you do like to trade such areas, perfect. You do what's best for you, but again, I'd like to see maybe some more kind of something that I prefer more. Anyway, guys, I really hope you found it useful. I'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time. Sorry for the slightly late start, and slightly for the late finish of this video, but again, I really appreciate you sticking around with me today, yesterday, and the whole week, and before. Thank you very much for the views, for the likes, for the comments in general. I really appreciate that. Like I said, tomorrow there won't be any Traders Espresso. I will resume on the 23rd of August. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful trading day tomorrow and the next week, of course, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.